Okay, we're going to get started here. About one.
The other Market Center Tech Trainers. My email, so you guys have it, is Shannon, SHANNON dot.
Where'd that come from? Okay. Gotcha. We got it taken care of. Yeah, Sean, if you can mute everybody, that'd be awesome. We'll get started here in about 30 seconds as people log on that are doing virtual partner meetings, live partner meetings. Good to be back in the office. Well, it's 1:01, so let's start. Let's get going. Start on time. Maybe we can get you out here a little bit early. But yeah, you know what? You know what this is today? It's our first kind of partner meeting since back in March, really maybe February. So good to be back. You know, we've kind of been straggling in and out, trying to get used to this new normal, and you know, hopefully we'll continue pushing through all the unknowns around this, and someday we get back to some bit of a normal, hopefully, whatever that is going to look like. But I have confidence that we are going to feel normal again someday. We just don't know when that's going to be, and I'm really looking forward to that. You know, I like to stay positive and push forward. So everybody here on Zoom, thanks for participating. Hey, Sandy, everybody. So good to see everybody. We've got a lot of good stuff today. I'll tell you what, with the things that are coming up in August from a training standpoint, I mean, I look at that training calendar that we're going to go over and some of the opportunities are out there, and this is what this company is about, is preparing and training you guys to sell as much real estate as possible to provide for your families and create the life that you want. So, but let's start off real quick with a little gratitude. You know, things that are going on right now in your personal lives, your business, whatever that might be. What are some things that, something that we're grateful for, or something you just kind of want to bring attention to, if anybody'd like to. Yeah. Yeah, thank you. Because healthy, I got to eat healthy too, so that's good. Yeah, yeah. So thank you. Huge. We talked about that when we had our session, and that's awesome. Right? I remember you saying that. Sometimes you just got to take action, right? Yeah, right. That's awesome. Yeah. All right. What else? I'm trying to think what I got. I'm grateful for Billy Spears' daughter. I mean, you know, my nanny gave me notice. You know, single dad, and my nanny gave me notice, and then I had somebody else. And then she was a high schooler, and it kind of was too much for her, a full day with two little girls. So she, after the second day, she's like, I'm not going to be able to do this. So then I was looking for somebody else. So now I've got somebody. So I'm grateful that I've got someone that the girls just adore. School starts. So I'm grateful for that. Ashton Spear. What else? Anything else good going on? Transaction-wise, anybody's business kind of rolling? Yeah? Tell me something good about that. Ms. Dixon?
July at 1:00, we had 22 this year, or this COVID, unfortunately, has been very, very good to the real estate ones.
Yeah. I mean, you know, for being grateful about something, you know, not that everybody's business is exactly where we want to be, but how grateful should we be to be in a business that during this time is doing well, that has the potential to do well, to just, you know, not that it's not challenging to find the buyers and find the sellers. That's always been challenging. But, you know, our industry, I mean, some industries have stopped. Some industries are non-existent. Some industries had to go down to closed to 25%, to 50%, back to 25%, to closing again. I mean, how grateful should we be to be in an industry where not only is it still there, but it's kind of thriving. So that is, we should count our blessings in that. And if our business isn't exactly where we want, we're not generating what we want, that opportunity is still there because our business is still there. Yeah. Oh, gotcha. Angie. That's awesome. Yeah. I'm grateful for you all. I mean, you all make this company isn't anything without each of you individually. So I just want to say I'm grateful for you all and your all's hard work and your passion about what you do and what you're creating for your legacy and your family. So.
Mike Schoonover from the chat room says he is thankful for his lending partners. Did you hear me?
Oh yeah, we heard you. I gotta turn this down. Do you have a key? I think
sorry.
it's the speaker in there. All right, we're gonna get the key so we can turn down the speaker in there. We got the audio working. So yeah, anybody else on chat want to share something they're thankful for? Apparently, yes, he's very happy for his lending, but that's great. All the way next door. So I just go in there and turn it down. Okay, Sean, say something real quick. Can you say something real quick, Sean?
I'm scared to say something real quick.
Okay, that's better. All right. We got it.
So sorry.
That's okay. It's all right. Well, awesome. Speaking of something being grateful, I'm grateful today. If we could have our sponsor from Concierge Auctions come up, who brought us lunch today and is going to share a little bit about their services. And one of our real estate teams is utilizing that right now. So I'm anxious to learn.
Craig,
Yeah.
do you want to go through the upcoming stuff first so I don't have to flip over the screen share? Por favor.
Do that. Say that again.
Can you go through the upcoming events first, please?
Yeah. Yeah, I can do that.
Perfect. Thank you.
All right. All right. So let's go through the upcoming events first. You got it pulled out. All right. So one of the things that we put together, you know, we've always got so much information coming at us through email and Facebook. It's kind of like, where do I go to find that? We created a website for you all to where if you want to just go and find everything for tools, what's coming up, the training calendar, there's one stop now. It's called KWSoIN.com. So we talked about that, the lunch outside last month. So just want to let you know that resource is there. I'm going to make this bigger here. Oh, I know. There we go. This is.
Click on control and the plus sign.
But I'm just. There we go. There we go. That's better. We can see it better. So, quick links, contact information, policies and guidelines. It's just everything's going to be there. Just one stop, KWSoIN.com. So that's just going to be kind of a place to go to get everything. So it's kind of an example of some of the training that's coming up. So let's go over that after we go over the cappers. So this past month, I'd like to congratulate our cappers, Angie Ripperdan, Sarah Nicholson, Bob Murphy, Tammy Hagler, Allie Gwynn, Julie Gamble. So they now get 100% of their commission when they have closing till their rollover date. So that's always kind of nice. I remember when I was selling real estate, with Keller Williams and I capped, it's like, wow, I get 100% of it. So let's see, how many houses can I sell now? Training wise, Sean and the staff have put together a action-packed, power-filled training for the month of August. We're kind of focused on listing month. We're kind of calling it listing month. We've got a challenge around it. Actually, Sean, I'll let you kind of go over that challenge here in just a second. Today's our first one. Brian's going to kind of talk realtor safety. He's going to go over some things today after this meeting around things that you can do to be safe when you're showing property, meeting with clients maybe you don't know quite well yet, things like that. Next, on August 6th, which is tomorrow. Wait, is today the 4th or the 5th? Today's the 5th, okay. Tomorrow, Jesse's going to be teaching seller scripts. So scripts and dialogues around working with sellers, getting listings, things along that line. Bob is going to go over on Friday the listing packet and how to fill that out. Bob, kind of some of the things you're going to share in that class would be, okay, taking a listing. Okay. Handling multiple offers. Rob's handled a lot of those. So Rob Gaines is going to kind of step in and kind of give you some overview, some strategies around multiple offers. Nothing's more frustrating when your buyer has that property they want. Are there some specific things that you can do, which there are, to give your buyer the advantage or your seller the advantage? So Rob's going to dive into that and kind of give you those, because if you don't take the time to learn those things, they're not just going to pop into your head. So you've got to position yourself to be ready when you get yourself in that situation. So hopefully, you get the contract and you're not showing houses to the same client you've been showing for the past couple of weeks because you keep losing out on multiple offers. So I would definitely come to that class. Mike Schoonover and Todd Paxton, Power Punch Vintage, together teaching Win with Sellers. So that's going to be more of a longer class from 9:30 to 2. That's going to be the entire process of generating that seller lead all the way to closing and post-closing. So after you close on them, to give you the advantage. Because if you're in multiple offers now with buyers, you're probably also competing against other agents for listings. Our own Ethan Rapier is teaching the listing presentation and your 411 and how that's kind of tied together. And Ethan, are you in here? Oh, okay. Tell us real quick about what that's going to be.
So that you know what you need to do week in and week out on a consistent basis, because that's not most important. It's consistently doing expected guarantee.
Yeah.
Then we're going to go over the mold pre-qual before your listing appointment, and basically we're going to go over your listing presentation and we'll role play that.
Yeah, and the 411's great in that way. 411's a tool to make sure you're on track, to recognize whether you're on track or off track from what your goal is. So you start at the beginning of the year, or you start looking at your numbers mid-year and where do I want to end the year at. So you don't look up in December and be like, I didn't make what I wanted to make. Knowing your numbers is a key important. So I like that you're throwing the 411 in with the listing presentation and the pre-qual. So that's awesome. Sean, your MLS entry and maintenance, you would share just a little bit what that's going to be about?
Sure. We are going to go over the basic steps for entering listings into the MLS, the best practices, and what to avoid so you don't get a data correction from Zyra. And how to manage your photos and all that fun stuff.
Awesome, thanks. Amy Dixon's going to teach 7-level open house. So a lot of times we get busy and we just rush to the open house, unlock the door, and that's how we prepare. I did that a lot when I was doing open houses. But there's also a strategy around where you can really do that, make that a big part of your business, a big part of your lead generation. So Amy, anything you want to say about that?
Can you give the audience speakers the microphone so we can hear? In Zoom world, we can't
Do
hear.
what?
We can't hear Amy or the speakers in the audience.
Okay, well, she's, okay. I can't do anything about that.
Do you have a microphone?
And we're going to paint the town. Okay, and the weekend after that, we're going to do Paint the Town Red, which is where we're going to get a lot of our KW agents to focus on open houses that weekend. Thomas is going to teach the 25th, Facebook ads through command. A lot of our agents are having a lot of success generating leads through Facebook ads. Thomas is going to do a little session here today as well. And session 10, marketing listings using designs. So Jay Usher is going to be teaching how to use designs to market your listings, because we got a whole design center in command. So Don, you want to tell them a little bit about the contest and Paint the Town Red as a part of that contest real quick?
Yes, sir. So we are having a listing competition, and there will be 3 groups of people that can win. We're going to have a group for our individual agents, a group for our team agents, and a group for our groups. So we're going to have 3 chances to win. Our first prize for each group is a free ticket for Mega Camp, which is coming up in September. And the second place winner for each of those groups will win half off of their KW fees on their agent bill, which is about $40. So to win, for every single class that you attend that we just went over, you'll receive 1 entry into the drawing. For every listing that you take, you'll get 2 entries into the drawing. And for every open house that you hold open for the month of August, and especially on the 22nd and 23rd, our Paint the Town Red weekend, you'll also receive an entry into the drawing. So you want to make sure that you get as many chances to win. So make sure you come to those classes and make sure we know about your listings.
Awesome. And then there's also a class on measuring square footage. A lot of times you have questions like, you know, what's the proper way to measure? Sometimes you go to these houses in old Clarksville that have those low ceilings. What's the proper way to measure that? So we got Joan Riddle that's going to come and teach on August 20th. And all these classes will be available via Zoom as well. And there'll be links. So Sean, you want to show them, can you use your screen and go to the one-stop KWSoIN.com to kind of show them that platform real quick?
Absolutely. So if you use your newsletter here, you'll see the Zoom links for each of the classes if you can't attend in person. And then also you have these resources that are right here within the newsletter. So if you click on them, it will open up our Google Drive. So you'll be able to have those class resources right at your fingertips. You'll also, why is my computer being so slow? One moment, please. Also, our new website, One Stop KWSoIN, has all of the resources. I'm currently building all of these, but we have a lot of links available. So This is your one-stop guide for contact information, for our license numbers and our HUD numbers. It also has your training resources. So if you're a new agent, you can get into our orientation and training manual, our policy and guidelines. Our YouTube channel is up and running, and it has a ton of great videos from classes that we've taught in the Market Center and also regional classes that will help you grow your business. And then we have quick links to our KWSoIN Resource Center, where you can find listing resources, marketing resources, our office roster, and links to other policy and guidelines. I've also added some quick links because we have a lot of vendors that we partner with. So here are quick links to our assessor offices for Supra, covenants and restrictions, how to search and verify other agents' license, and then I'm building the Kentucky portion right now. So it's a great resource that you can save on your computer and have access to all of the things that we hunt around for on a daily basis.
Awesome. Anybody have any questions on any of that? So yeah, go there, mark your calendar. You know, you don't have to attend all of them, but you know, maybe pick the ones that you want to kind of get better at and block your schedule and go from there. So ALC hotline, that's if you know if you know you need to have a question about something or want to get an idea about something, something with your business. Sometimes you know if it's a broker question, Bob may be at an appointment. He may be taking Mary out to a nice fine dinner. So that's a hotline that'll connect you to an ALC member that's on call, and you can ask a question about something real estate related or office related. So just wanted to kind of tell you about that. I am going to jump real quick to our sponsor, Concierge Auctions. If you want to come up here now and tell us a little bit about the information real quick. So yeah, tell us a little bit about, thanks for lunch, first of all. And yeah, tell us a bit about kind of your all services. And what you do.
Can Joshua stand in front of the laptop, please?
Oh yeah, can you stand?
Awesome. Hey y'all. I'm Joshua Maloney with Concierge Auctions. I'm working on a property here locally at 6202 Georgetown with one of y'all's familiars, Deetra. Did she head out? Oh, there she is. Howdy. We are hosting, I'm here for a couple of reasons today. A, I wanted to introduce myself. B, I wanted to discuss briefly kind of the auction process for maybe some of those of y'all that aren't aware of it, and also invite y'all to an event we're having next Thursday from 11 to 2. Next Thursday, we got a drawing for a $250 Amex gift card, so come on through. I'd love to host y'all. Also scheduling, you know, I've noticed, you know, since COVID, we're doing a lot of these showings by appointment only. So we're also available for those as well. So auction process, and then just kind of briefly review the auction that we have in hand. So why auction? Has anybody participated in an auction before? Real estate? What were some of the benefits? Why'd y'all like it?
It happened fast.
Quick, right? Liquidity, right? And especially given the time of COVID, being a seller or a buyer, we're in a perfect opportunity to kind of seize that, right? What else was groovy about it? What else worked? These buyers are used to buying at auction. I mean, these are the things right here. This is kind of some cool numbers. Like the highest art that's ever sold at auction is like just shy of $200 million. Automobiles around $50 million. These are our buyers, top 1%, still the top 1%. And they're used to buying at auction. They know this format. It's like, I mean, who here has bought anything off like eBay before? Like, I go through phases on eBay. I found myself like sometimes I bid for like a month on, you know, a cool Lacoste polo shirt or something like that I want, and next thing I know, I've got 50 Lacoste polo shirts, right? So it's kind of addictive in that regards, right? Same deal here. That's why we auction. That's why this format works for buyers. We all got mutual goals too, right? So there's 3 parties involved in all of our auctions. We've never done a deal without a listing agent, a local rep. That's huge. There's 12% brokerage fee paid by the buyer. We also have a co-broke fee. If you flip somebody over our way, there's an additional 3%. It's all covered. That's number 1. Concierge auctions, you know, we want to sell these properties in the least amount of time. And then obviously the winning bidder, variable, but they also want the best value. So we're kind of on the same boat there. One of the, oh, and by the way, all the images that y'all see on this, I took our like canned concierge auctions like presentation, and I just put in like all pictures of whatever property we're talking about. So anything y'all see on here, it's all here in Indiana. So for each one of these auctions, you got a dedicated team, right? So I'm bringing in like the cavalry. We're going to focus on this for 30 days. We're going to reach a newfound group of buyers that maybe not have been contacted before. But we got a marketing manager, the project sales manager. That's me. I'm on site for the 30 days. Dietrich's got a few other properties under her belt at the moment.
You're right. Your team's out targeting.
Huge.
Is your team out targeting like potential buyers that are out there that may not typically be found?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And that's kind of one of the beautiful things. We've got a black book of close to 80,000 qualified bidders. I'll talk about in a second what makes a qualified bidder, but we bring those into every auction. And like I just said, kind of the addictive format of an auction, you'll find a lot of these repeat buyers come in auction after auction. Client services manager, I've got bid assistants. You know, a lot of these bidders, they don't want to be on an app. They don't want to be on their phone. I've got, you know, direct lines. We can call into all of them. And of course, our support team as well. We'll blow through here. My goal is to always keep it under 10 minutes. Normally I set a timer, but I think we're close. So we'll keep pushing away. Okay, fast forward. Kind of already covered this. So benefit for all, I mentioned our commissions, the control, predictability, thank you. How do we qualify bidders? Kind of 4 avenues. I Google them, first of all. Seriously, it's crazy what you find out from somebody from Google, right? Second, we've got a terms and conditions that's specific to each auction. You can sign it digitally. Proof of funds, this could be anything from a letter of the bank to a screenshot of what you got. Obviously, some bidders do finance. Those funds would need to be liquid and available before the day of the auction. We do require $100,000, you know, bidders kind of entry fee. Everybody's got some skin in the game. If they are not the buyer of the property, if they're not the winning bidder, that does get returned within like a 24-hour period via transfer. And then finally, the winner signs a contract, the date of sale, non-refundable deposit, closing within 30 days. We do frequently have pre-offers. If y'all have any buyers in mind that might want to submit one, we've already got 2 coming up this week that have already been submitted. We do ask at that point for, you know, 10%, you know, to be held. As you know, we all got to put some skin in the game. Listing exposed, we've got some great reach, kind of 4 here. Earned media, you know, the shared media via partner agencies like Keller Williams. The paid media, you know, be it through Facebook, New York Times, whatever we find is being good. For this specific property, which I'm going to touch on here next, the hunter jumper. What does hunter jumper mean? Y'all know? Come on. Hunters and jumpers. It's different than barrel racing. It's different than your like typical equestrians. Hunters and jumpers. I don't know. Anyway, someone told me just yesterday that somebody that buys this property is going to be a hunter jumper. So that said, I guess we got forest in the background and jumping facilities available. I mentioned the assets that we're going to bring to the table, photos, brochures. If anybody has a chance to kind of check it out online, I've got some cards up here. Dieter has a few, and I'll leave some personal business cards for y'all as well. And yeah, next Thursday, normally I have that date up here, but it's not. Next Thursday, 11 to 2, please come and join us. If I was a real estate agent, which I'm not, I'm a marketing and branding specialist in my past life and with Concierge for coming up 2 years now. I would, for 3 reasons, send this property out, and we'll send y'all something digitally with the links and such that you can. I would send it out to everybody in my book. A, because it, hey, reminds you that you're an agent and you're here, and this is the kind of stuff that's coming on your desk. B, because it can open those doors. You never know who, right? People come out of the woodworks. And lastly, I've heard from, honestly, the majority of auctions that I've participated in, whoever that winning bidder is, I hear it from the agent time and time again. I had no idea. I had no idea they wanted this. I had no idea they registered for it. So you never know. So I would encourage y'all to push this stuff out. Thanks for letting me share with y'all. And
what's the ideal property for this type of auction?
The ideal property? I mean, I've got islands in the Bahamas. We've got castles in Europe. We're obviously taking a lot more domestically now, given COVID and kind of where we're at from a travel position. But it's any and all. There are properties that are located in ideal locations. So for the right buyer, that's why I honestly think that the buyer for this property is going to come within a 60-mile radius. We got a couple coming down from New York this weekend to look at it. I'm showing it to a couple following weekend coming out from Cali. I think that the person that buys this property is driven by it 100 times. They've seen it, they've wanted it, and previously 2 years ago it was listed at 2.2. You're going to get it at 50% off now. So that's kind of where I think we're landing. Cool. Awesome. Thanks so much. Thank you for your time, sir.
Thank you. So next I want to invite Scott and Ashton from the River Heritage Conservancy to tell us a little bit about what's coming up in Southern Indiana.
Yeah, this is exciting stuff. So,
are you guys there?
Yeah, I'm here. This is yikes. Hold on real quick. Can you talk to them while I get this squared away, please? Thank you.
Sorry about that. We're having a little bit of technical difficulties. Zoom doesn't like Scott's for some reason.
Can you hear me now?
Yes,
Very good. Is there a way I can share my screen with you quickly?
absolutely. I'm going to stop share and then you can take over.
All right, I hope everyone can see my screen. If my audio fails, I will apologize at the very beginning. Zoom and I don't get along particularly well. Thank you all for the opportunity to talk to you. I don't know how many of y'all have heard about our project, but it is going to be announced shortly, and I wanted to give you a sneak peek since you were so gracious to provide time for us. You know, the issue that I hear a lot of y'all talking about is really fundamental to the work we do. We need to be a great place to live. And at the end of the day, if you're not a great community to live, nothing else really matters. And our goal is to further extend and expand our region's livability and do that through the creation of some green infrastructure. I'm going to run you through as fast as I possibly can, but concisely what's going on, all leading towards a heads up for you. We are going to begin public engagement and a formal unveiling of the park plan on
Scott, I think your audio cut out. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. Zoom, it seems to happen fairly frequently. Usually he logs off and logs back on. Do you want to? Yep.
Sorry for the technology problems. I'll just skip it and save the highlights. On the big takeaway is this. Our southern Indiana communities do not have the type of park system that you see in Louisville. We don't have a Cherokee Park, an Iroquois Park, really those iconic public parks that define urban areas. And what our organization is going to kick off for y'all is the ability to deliver that. We're going to bring in Olmsted. He's the guy who gave you Central Park in New York, the National Capital, Biltmore. That sort of landscape to southern Indiana at the location where Silver Creek enters the Ohio. And the intent of this project is really simple. It is the last gap in our region for this sort of world-class park. And it's the last gap in our region that doesn't have a piece of urban green infrastructure of this scale. So this is going to be an unapologetic urban park that's designed to serve the 180,000 people that are within about a 15-minute to 20-minute drive of the site, and the 1.2 million people that are within a 30-minute drive of the site. It'll be a nonprofit-driven park project, and it'll be a conservancy. I don't know how many of y'all have been possibly to the Parklands of Floyd's Fork over in Jefferson County. That's our same model. That's where I cut my, and we're going to deploy that same model over here. And at the end of the day, what we're intending to give you will be a 600-acre piece of architecture that's walkable from New Albany, from those great neighborhoods in Clarksville, that allow folks to live that 15-minute lifestyle in terms of walkability, where you can walk to a trail, a grocery store, a school from your house, which we know is the defining characteristic of the post-COVID world already. How much can I do from home? How much can I walk without having to get into my car? And then how can it be livable for folks of every generation going forward? And then shape fundamentally the trajectory of our region for the next 100 years, much in the same way Cherokee Park shaped the highlands of Louisville that y'all probably know so well. So the long and short of it is August 27th, we'll begin unveiling that park project to you. And then the process of engaging the fundraisers, engaging the planning, continuing on land acquisition will carry forward. So that's the high view I wanted to give you. I wish I could share some images, but I'm going to throw my computer out the door any day now. It doesn't like Zoom. But I will be more than happy to come back and talk to y'all in person when we get the vaccine and we can all go back to spending time together in person. Happy to take any questions. I know I went at a very, very, very high level, but I can cover any other details that folks may have, or I can step away and let y'all do the important business of making money and building a great community that y'all do every day.
So Ashton, this is going to enhance the greenway that we've already got at a much higher level. Is that what I'm understanding?
Yeah. The greenway is a wonderful start. I would argue it can be a lot better. And it's going to need to be a lot better when you think about 200,000 to 300,000 users a year. So the greenway that was just opened between New Albany and Clarksville goes through the project site. We will significantly be altering that. In fact, spoiler alert, we will be elevating large sections so that you can use it when the Ohio is not being very well behaved and is flooding. And then we will increase the capacity of it to serve hundreds of thousands of more people safely and efficiently.
What's the timeline for the completion of the project?
That's always the million-dollar question. We think it's a 20-year project all in, much like Waterfront Park in Louisville was, but we will get to work next year on the first proof and concept or pilot project.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Ashton. Appreciate your time.
Appreciate it. Thank
so
you.
much. If you want to send me some photos of what's going on or your PowerPoint, I'll share it with our agents in our closed group.
Well, I would love to do that, but then I'd have to have you peaky swear not to share it. So I'm just going to say everyone's hold tight to August 27th, and we'll make sure we get you all the information after that.
Okay, sounds good. So everyone got a sneak peek today. Awesome. Thank you.
Thank
Sean,
you.
would you tell folks about Mega Camp and how it's rolling out this year?
Absolutely. Mega Camp, obviously due to COVID, we're not going to travel this year, but it is going to be a new digital experience, and it's going to have the same great information and the same great breakouts. I've posted a link on our Facebook group that has a link to register, and it also has a link to the sneak peeks on your breakout sessions. There is an early bird pricing that's going on till the end of this week. I believe that is only $89. So you want to make sure you get in there and get registered as soon as possible. It's going to be great.
Yeah, this is a training that typically is going to cost you, I'd say, $1,000. Let's be conservative, depending on how nice a restaurant you go to each night. And it's going to be the same caliber of training. $79?
$89, I believe.
Yeah, and so this is a great opportunity to really learn some high-level stuff, to get you thinking differently, thinking bigger about your business, thinking more strategic about your business. I mean, some of the stuff that I've learned at these mega camps and family reunion, just game changers on a lot of things. How many have been to mega camp or family reunion before? Did you come across some good stuff in those? Some things that maybe changed the course of your business a little bit, possibly? Yeah, so you're gonna be able to do the same thing here at a crazy low cost to do that. So they're shooting to have like 50,000 in attendance participating in this. So they're definitely gonna do a good job in rolling it out. So it'll be cool. Okay, Sean, you wanna show them the numbers that you generated through the kind of the market snap? Do you have that?
Yes, sir. Can you see it? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not sharing my screen. Oh, my Lord have mercy. One moment, please.
Yeah, walk them through those numbers real quick when you pull it up.
I thought I was sharing the mega camp screen too. Okay, so I did a quick statistical analysis in Syra the other day. So this is showing you up at the top here, it's the month that we're going to be in. And then at the bottom, it's going to show you the year to date. So I'm going to start doing this in the newsletter every single month so you guys can see how we're doing in solds and average price, days on market, and how many active listings we have as of whatever date that I run it. I ran this one on July 31st. So it looks like our solds are up from last July, which I think is awesome due to our circumstances. Our average price point is up and our days on market are up. So we've all seen some lender delays during the COVID issues, which I believe all of our lending partners are doing a great job helping us get through that, but we're still seeing some delays. Year to date, we are down just a little bit by about 60 sold properties. Our average year to date price is up and our days on market are up.
We still gotta go low inventory, so let's.
We have a real low inventory. So just imagine these numbers if we had active listings. So now we're going to talk, is Bob coming up? We're going to talk about the economics. Perfect.
Oh, I'm gonna be sitting on that. Okay, guys. What am I talking about, Sean?
You're talking talking about economics.
Okay, so, you know, I read all the headlines and stuff to try and keep up with what's going on, and we really are in kind of a weird market because of COVID, right? So here's just some statistics that will affect our business, if not today, then pretty soon in the future. We talked about this at a leadership meeting just this week. The mortgage forbearance rate is at 7.7% right now. That's down just a little bit over what it was last month. So that's 4.1 million loans are in forbearance right now. So it's been predicted that we're going to have another 2008 where the market crashed because of people going on forbearance. I don't think, and most of the economists that I read don't think that's going to affect us because they are forbearing their mortgage payments to the end of their loan. So they're not going to be 90 days behind or 120 days behind on their mortgage. They're just going to have a mortgage last just a little bit longer. So that's as of July 28th. The unemployment, the $600 that the government was giving everybody for unemployment, that went away July 31st. And so far, Congress hasn't figured out how to make that work again. Again, something that can affect who's buying a house here in the near future. One of the things, and it's a little bit further down here, our GDP is down 32% second quarter. 70% of our GDP comes from normal consumer spending. So when this money goes away, this free money that the people, the 20% of people who are unemployed right now have been getting, that's going to have a really bad effect on our economy if Congress can't get together and figure something out. The applications for unemployment are up again last week. You listen to this. Now, this is a good thing. United Wholesale Mortgage, one of the largest wholesale mortgage companies in the country, are predicting or beginning to offer 30-year and refinance rates, 30-year with a 640 credit score of 1.875 interest rate. Yeah, that's almost like paying you to borrow money. Mortgage applications last week dropped 5%. So you got to wonder why that is. I mean, because we've been really kicking it along for a long time. But I think, personally, it's my opinion, kids are starting back to school now, the ones that are going to go, whether it's 2 days a week or every day or just online learning. So I think parents right now are thinking a whole lot about what am I going to do with my kids, and not as much, buying home. Craig can attest to that. Yeah. So last week, the average 30-year fixed rate for properties under 510,000 was 3.14%. So if you look at what you guys are paying, your clients are paying, if it's above 3.14%, that's more than what the average is or was for the last week. For jumbo loans, which is anything over 510,000, it's a little more, 3.51%. And the average 15-year rate right now is 2.73%. So again, as your clients are talking to lenders, this is what the averages are. You can maybe help guide them along. If they got a lender who's saying, yeah, well, we're at 3.5% today, you might suggest they need to talk to their lender. Here's an announcement. Zillow just partnered with D.R. Horton. D.R. Horton is the largest builder in the country. And they're going to use the iBuyer system at Zillow to buy houses for the people that are buying their houses and giving them as much as 8 months. Once they agree to buy their house, let them stay for 8 months while their new home is being built. So that's something. It's not going to affect us here locally too much, but all your other buddies with KW across the country could be affected by it. Let's see. Well, again, they're predicting rates down to 1.875. Can you believe that? I mean, seriously, never in my lifetime has it been that low.
Well, that could end up being a challenge 2, 3, 4 years from now. So kind of the challenge that we're in right now is some people that may move, may think about it, but they're at a 2.5% interest rate. I mean, now they can still get that, but if at some point, of course, we've been saying, oh, interest rates are going to go up. For the past 6 years. That's right. Someday they might, and when you've got sellers locked in at 2% or 2.5, or That'd be crazy.
1.875, yeah, that'd be crazy.
You know, it's going to have to be a real need there, which thank goodness there is. I mean, people get married, people get divorced, people pass away, people have twins, you know, there's all kinds of things that still will cause people to move. But just could be one of the challenges. So all the more reason now to, you know, build that database, touch that database, create systems, communicate with your realtor, because, you know, most people only have the mind share to keep 2 realtors in their head. Someone said, hey, who are some realtors you know? If you're not in the industry, you can probably maybe name 2. So you just got to make sure you're hopefully 1, not 2, and that's done through lead generation and connection.
And if you're talking to a client and you want to give them another realtor to think about, myself or Blake would be great. Just thought I'd throw that out there. Okay, so I told you the GDP fell to 32.9 or fell 32.9% in the second quarter. They're also predicting that unemployment is going to stay bad for the next 2 years. So yeah, that's a wonderful thing to look forward to. But these are all things that can affect our business. So what I'm saying to you is this: you better make it now while you can. And just like Josh said earlier, you don't know where your next buyer really is. You don't know who might be ready to buy that $2 million property, right? Or whatever. So you really need to stay in, as Craig just said, you really need to get with your database right now while the rates are really, really low and they still have a job.
And probably more than important, and I'd say this is the most important thing. I don't care if you are you're a single agent selling 80 homes a year. Creating that personal budget and following a plan around that, because if you're making a ton of money and you're not telling it where to go, it's going to go, and then you're going to look up 2 years from now and being like, oh my gosh, the market's going to change. So a real simple strategy around that is create a personal budget. What do I need? And then that's all you pull out of your business account to live personally. If you're selling 10 homes a month, 5 homes a month, and you've got an uncertain amount of extra, then you just put that back into your business or put that in a savings account. And then that's going to continue to build up. You know, it's just kind of the human norm to just want to spend when you're getting it. And then, you know, it's just, I mean, I see it all the time with real estate agents that sell a lot of real estate and they're not, you know, so I'm just saying, spend some time, have a budget, a personal budget, and stick to that, and then build up your reserves. Otherwise, market shifts, and you haven't done that, then you could be in a tough spot. $175,000 hires? That's a lot. Okay. All right, Amy, you want to tell us real quick?
I got one more.
Oh, you
don't cut me short, man. What's the matter with you? Okay,
Go ahead, Bob.
all right. So here's 2 things that are definitely going to affect our business. Appraisers have been really severely impacted by what's going on right now. So you know the average appraiser to get your appraisal back from the time it's ordered is 3 weeks. Where we're used to like a week from the time it's ordered to getting it back. So you need to plan on, in the offers that you write here, especially in the near future, enough time to get a property appraised before the closing, right? So appraisers have really they've been severely impacted by this. So you just need to understand that. Plus, there's the attrition in the appraisal industry. Getting an appraiser's license is very difficult. These are things that are affecting what's going on with appraisers. So there are fewer appraisers out there, not as many coming back into the market, and then we're just slamming them with appraisals to do, not just on purchases, but on refis, because they have to do them on refis as well. So it's really impacted appraisers. Same thing is true of underwriters. So underwriters for these mortgage lenders are having a hard time because they've been slammed with so much stuff, and you can't just say, well, I'm going to be an underwriter today. It's a process you have to go through. You have to learn it. And unfortunately, there aren't a whole lot of people ready to take on that position. So the time it takes to get a loan processed now is much longer than it was before because there are so many to look at. I've got a client right now, we closed on the house that she's buying yesterday. The house that they were buying, the sellers were buying, they're still in underwriting, and it should have been out 2 weeks ago. but because that particular lender is so slammed, it created a problem for my buyer. She was good to go, but the other lender couldn't get the next person's loan processed quickly enough. So it's been a fun morning, guys, trying to figure out what we're going to do since she's got to get out of her house and can't get into the one she just paid for. So just keep those things in mind. I typically say 45 days now, and I know this is tough because if you have a competitive situation, and by the way, the average house now gets 3 offers on an average. So when you're competing against 2 other offers, sometimes the amount of time it takes to get financing can be a factor. So you got to keep that in mind too. So I guess what I'm saying at the end is our job's getting a little bit tougher, guys. It really is. So you better bone up on everything you need to know and then contact everybody you know and try and get like 48 hours in a day. This is realtors, what we think as realtors. We're not real smart. Anyway, this you can see it in R. This tells you what we think the market's going to do. We don't agree with most of the economists, by the way. So anyway, that's all for me, guys. Thanks.
Maybe step up here so people want to. Thomas, we might. Take one of your classes and do it. Oh, well, I just have capping in 2 months, you can lead gen and command to grow your business.
Okay.
Sure.
Well, first I want to just reiterate about planning. I have been planning for August of 2020 for 2.5 years now. This is the month that all 3 of my kids go to college. And college, if you're not aware, is not cheap. So I have been paying a little bit, not all of college, but a little bit. And I had set a big, huge goal to have this much money in an account by August 1st. Missed it by 2 days. It was August 3rd, but the money was there. It was just stuck here in color. But it's Roger's fault. So 2 days late. But it kind of goes back to your big why. My big why has always been to help my kids get through college without a lot of debt. And I did, I wanted to have enough today in an account that I could stop working or if something tragic happened that they would at least have a year. So all 3 of them. So planning 2.5 years ago got us to where we needed to be. Planning in March got me to where I can't sleep at night because I'm so crazy busy right now. Lead gen and just following up with my people. When on March 17th, when I didn't come into work that day, I called my people and I'm like, look, I know it's getting ready. It seems like it's crazy out there. I don't know what's going on, but are you okay? And I delivered distilled water to a little old neighbor lady. I mean, I did all those little things that they told us to do back then. But I think along the line, we kind of forgot to still be checking in on people. And I forgot sometimes, but then I would get back into just checking in. And these people that I was just checking in on and saying, are you okay, have now been calling me and like, my mother-in-law had to move in with us because she's not doing well. Can you sell her house? Because I checked in on them then. That's how I got 22. Our team had 22 pendings, like July 27th or something. And then now we're starting to close them. So, I mean, the work that you do 3 months ago shows up in a big way. So if you haven't been making those phone calls and checking on people, especially the mamas that are sending their kids into school right now, especially the ones that are sending them to college in Florida, need to be checked on. We're not all right. And those touches, those calls are very important to people, and they will remember it and they will call you back, or their friends will call you back because they'll be talking about, hey, I probably need to sell a house. And they're like, oh, well, Amy called me, 3 times during this. Because, I mean, your dentist isn't calling you to check on you. Your doctor isn't calling you to check on you, but your realtor should be. It took me 2 months, exactly. And I wasn't on the capper wall that you all just showed me in July. I'm a little sad about that.
You're gonna be in August, on the August.
That's the
I'll
best.
be there. So, I mean, yeah. It's beautiful. And capping is so much better than not capping. So if you are interested in talking to me about capping, that's what my job is.
All right, so it's 2 o'clock. One of the things that I'm going to do is either end each meeting or begin each meeting with the 6 steps to build a successful real estate business, because this is it. This is the key. I'm going to fly through it because it's 2 o'clock and I want to respect your time. But number 1, get clear about your why. Why do you do this? What do you want out of life? What can real estate do to create that? If you know your why, you got to be disciplined. And this kind of happens in this order. You got to be disciplined to do the rest of it, which is below. Build habits. You got to manage your time. You know, so if you got to call people, if you got to do certain things, if you got to build a smart plan, you got to control your time or the time's just going to disappear. You got to know what to say. If I'm going to go on a listing appointment and I haven't practiced on what to say, who am I practicing on? The person that I may get a $5,000 commission from. Do I want to practice on $5,000? No, I don't want to practice. I want to practice on Amy Dixon. Handle her objections. I'll get that listing. And number 5, you got to say what you've been practicing. So you got to lead generate. That's where it all ties back into time management. You got to manage your time to do these things. That's probably the most important. No, it's not the most important. Your big why is most important. Because otherwise, you know, why are you doing it? And then number 6 is probably the most important. They're all important, but the most important is what's going to hold you accountable to doing these things. Okay, I love it. You know, I had a brand new agent one time say, well, isn't it number 1? Isn't your big why what should hold you accountable? I was like, wow, that's deep. So thank you all. Go get them. Need anything, let us know.
Hey, Craig,
Yes.
can you stop this one and then go into our Zoom and click the one for realtor safety for me real quick?
I'm going to call you because I can't hear you over the speaker.
Oh, okay.
Buffy wants her computer back.